Welcome again to Joe Stonner Boxing. Let's talk about pretty good matchup coming up at the weekend. It's between Ireland's Padraig McCrory, who is 18 wins, no defeats, no draws, and the also undefeated Edger Berlanga, 21 wins, no defeats, no draws. Berlanga's got 16 wins by early stoppage. McCrory's got 9. The battle of unbeaten fighters is always a sort of intriguing sort of scenario. That's not to say there isn't a favourite. In this fight, the favourite is Edger Berlanga, but neither guy knows how to lose, as they say. So I guess that makes it kind of intriguing. Berlanga, you may well have seen, he's 6'1" orthodox fighter. These are super middleweights, by the way. He's 26 years of age. He's from, I think, New York, Brooklyn, I want to say. And yeah, he's looked the part for the most part. He's looked the part, if you see what I mean. Very aggressive fighter. Throws hooks usually in 2s, 3s, and 4s. If he gets you in trouble, he won't stop punching. Those 3s and 4s will become 7 and 8s. And they're very wide, very, very heavy-handed punching. He puts meat on every punch. There ain't a lot of jabbing going on. He can, and this is what means I have reservations about him to some degree, he can sort of come in the front door a bit too much. He does fire to the body, but not enough for my liking. Those heavy hands would, I think, benefit a bit more body work. But he loves the headshots, and like I say, he will throw them in bunches. I think he won his first 15 fights by knockout, and he was considered this, great knockout artist. And then he had a couple of points decisions. If I remember rightly, the first time he got taken the distance was by Damon Nicholson, who was last seen getting stopped by Christian Mbele. It was last year, I think, in September or October. So he's still around, Nicholson. But back in 2021, he took Berlanga the 8-round distance. And Berlanga has been taking the distance on other occasions since then. Steve Rolls, who you may remember fought Gennady Golovkin, he took him 10 rounds. That was only Rolls' second defeat. And last time out, he went 12, the full 12 with Jason Quigley, although he did have Quigley on the floor 3 or 4 times. He might have had him over twice in one of the later rounds. But anyway, Quigley came in with a 20 wins, 2 defeats record. And that was one of those NABO super middleweight belts, or I don't know what the hell it is, to be honest with you. It's the branch of the WBO. He won one of those belts, which is why it was a 12-rounder. I don't know whether there's a belt on the line against Padraig McCrory. Maybe this is a defense of that. It's because it's a 12-round fight. Maybe that's a defense of that trinket belt. But look, Berlanga is highly ranked. He's quite well thought of. He's high in the rankings of, I think, several of the ruling bodies. But even though I like watching him because he is very aggressive and he's got some skills and he's got some weight on his punches, you can sort of look at him and see, I know, I reckon I could come up with a pretty straightforward strategy as to how to beat this guy, because he is very sort of, bread and butter. You know what I mean? There's nothing fancy about him. And you know what he's going to do. You know he's going to come forward. There ain't a lot of lateral movement. He's going to come at you and he's going to fire those heavy hands. Now, okay, you can see that how he can be beaten, how he can be outboxed, how he can be, if you thread your punches through his assaults, you can catch him coming in easily if you've got the skills. But is Padraig McCrory from Ireland, is he the man to do it? Because, like I say, he's also undefeated, 18 wins with 9 KOs. He's 35 years old now, so he's knocking on a bit. He's from Ireland, 6'1", same as Berlanga. I say he's from Ireland, he's from Belfast, so he's from Northern Ireland, I should point that out. And there aren't really many names on his record for a 35-year-old that jump out and hit you. The two that struck me were back in 2022 when he fought Marco Antonio Periban, who had seen much, much better days, many, many, many better days. He stopped him in 5. And that was for like a WBC international title or something or other. And then he went on, and this is the most interesting one for me. He fought Leon Bunn in Frankfurt. So he travelled to Frankfurt to fight Leon Bunn, who was considered to be a German prospect. And Padraig McCrory stopped him in 6 rounds, which I think is probably his best victory. And I think that was for some light heavyweight belt. McCrory because he fought at light heavyweight for a couple of occasions. I can't remember who the other guy was he fought at light heavy. And then he dropped back down to 168. Maybe there was a power issue there. I don't know. But anyway, McCrory's style is such that he's quite content to box on the back foot, or I should say to fight on the back foot. Because if the guy's coming at you, he's happy with that. Berlanga will lock horns with you. McCrory will take the back foot route and then, fire his counters and catch the guy as he's coming in. With that's McCrory. With Berlanga, he's just a bull. You charge him, he'll charge you. There's a little bit more variety of work to McCrory. Now, when he gets you hurt or stings you, he'll come forward. He's not shy of coming forward either. He likes to have a punch up as well. And he uses jab more than Berlanga. I get the impression with Berlanga that he thinks, I don't need my jab. I'll just walk in and I'll throw these enormous hooks and, overhands, and I'll sort of overwhelm you, which, to be honest, in most cases he has done. With McCrory, there's a bit more thought goes into it. He's not nearly as heavy-handed as Berlanga. His last victory was over Steve Woodhull. That was back in August, September, roughly around about that time last year. So what's that mean? He's been out for about 6 months, 5.5, 6 months. Woodhull came in with an 18-1-1 record, and McCrory beat him on points over 10. I can't remember whether he scored any knockdowns. I think he might have scored 1, or there was a slip that the referee missed or something like that in round about the 7th or 8th. But McCrory, that was a good little run around. That 10 rounds is, I think, invaluable. In fact, he fought Diego Ramirez, who was losing more than he was winning at the time, but came in with a 25-9-1 record, and he took McCrory the 10-round distance as well. So McCrory's got some rounds under his belt recently, which is really good. 20 rounds in 2023. Look, I've never really viewed McCrory as being a world-class operator, even though I think he's got a ranking because of that WBC international belt he won. He ain't a bad fighter, good European level, I would say, decent European level. But he hasn't really beaten anyone for me. But the Leon Bunn fight did impress me in the sense that he went to Germany, took an undefeated guy. He's got a good mentality, McCrory, and I don't think he'll be intimidated by Berlanga's power. I don't think Berlanga will be intimidated either by. I mean, this is over in America. This is in Orlando, so I don't think Berlanga will mind. Berlanga goes in as the favourite. McCrory supposedly has it all to do. How do I think the fight will pan out? I think Berlanga will come straight at McCrory. McCrory will try to sort of fight on the back foot, maybe box a bit more than he would ideally like to, maybe try and get the jab moving a bit more, use his feet a lot more than he perhaps wants to. I think you'll see Berlanga making McCrory fight a style and a pace that he doesn't necessarily like that much. I think McCrory, certainly over 12 rounds, is going to want Berlanga to kind of shoot his bolt, and McCrory might wait for the middle rounds, and then he'll start to get a bit more industrious if he's still around then, of course, because Berlanga can end it with a salvo in any round. He's very heavy-handed. McCrory seems to have a decent chin. He does get clipped. I mean, even against even against Leon Bunn early on, he had a bloody nose. And if he gets clipped by Berlanga, I don't fancy his chances, to be honest. But what I think will happen is, I think probably McCrory will move a lot, jab a lot. He'll be forced to fight early on. He'll try to take over in the middle rounds. And I think probably Berlanga will, after maybe a few choppy waters in the middle rounds, I think Berlanga will probably come on strong in about 9 or 10 rounds and probably stop McCrory. It'll be a corner retirement, or the ref will step in, I think. But I think he'll gradually sort of grind down and beat up McCrory. I think McCrory will have his moments, like I say, in the middle rounds, around 6, 7. But by the 10th, the 9th and the 10th, I see Berlanga getting his second win, coming on strong, and eventually stopping McCrory, I think. So that's my prediction. You may agree, you may not agree. Leave your comments below. And please, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. That would be great for us. And also hit the like button. That'd be a big favour too. I'm looking forward to this one. 2 undefeateds. There's always a bit of fire there. 2 guys who don't know how to lose. What do you think? Who you got? And when you're picking, tell me why. All right. Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.